"Who the hell are you?" I barked, my voice cracking, the words ripped from my throat by a surge of pure, unadulterated panic. My heart was slamming against my ribs like a trapped bird. The woman in my back seat, who I'd been driving for a solid 5 minutes, stared back at me, her eyes wide, a flicker of something unhinged behind them. This wasn't Molly. This was not my girlfriend. Just moments earlier, I'd been buzzing with excitement, bouncing on the edge of my driver's seat at the airport curb, practically vibrating with anticipation to finally see Molly. Her flight from out of town had been delayed, pushing my pickup time into the dreaded no-tolerance active loading zone. I had a whole evening planned, a quiet dinner, maybe a cheesy rom-com, just us after weeks apart. But the universe, it seemed, had other plans, opting for a psychological thriller instead. The traffic vest guy, a beefy dude with a permanent scowl, had been circling like a shark. "Move it, pal! This ain't a parking lot," he'd yelled, tapping on my window. I tried to explain, just waiting for my girlfriend. Flight was delayed. "She'll be here any sec." He just glared, pointing down the lane. "You got 30 seconds or I'm calling it in." My stomach clenched. Great, a ticket before Molly even landed. Just then, my rear passenger door opened. I saw a flash of dark hair, a coat, Molly's coat, and a figure slipping into the back seat. "Thank God," I mumbled, not really looking, just relieved. "Hop in the front, babe." I called out, my eyes still on the rearview mirror. Tracking the traffic vest guy. He was still watching me. I shifted into drive, pulling away quickly. No time to argue with Molly about her preferred seat choice. Just gotta get clear of this human stress test. "You okay back there?" I asked, glancing in the rearview mirror again. The figure was slumped a little, oddly quiet. "Just a little tired," a muffled voice replied. It wasn't quite Molly's voice. A weird little alarm bell went off in the back of my mind, but I dismissed it. Long flight, new city. She's probably exhausted. Maybe a little sniffly. I kept driving, following the exit signs. The feeling didn't go away, though. It gnawed at me. Why hadn't she moved to the front? Why was she so quiet? Why did that voice sound off? It wasn't until I hit a red light, and the tension of the airport faded just enough for my brain to function properly, that I finally turned my head, really looked over my shoulder. And that's when my entire world tilted. The woman in the back seat had dark hair, yes, but her face was all wrong. Younger, sharper features. Her eyes, now locking with mine, were the eyes of a complete stranger. The "who the hell are you?" just erupted. "What are you talking about?" she stammered, shrinking away from me against the door. "I'm Molly, you're Kieran, right? My Uber?" My blood ran cold. "Uber? I don't drive Uber, no. I'm Kieran, but I'm here for my Molly, my girlfriend. Who are you?" I swerved slightly, my foot hovering over the brake. I needed to pull over now. Suddenly, that same traffic vest guy, who'd clearly followed me or was just everywhere, pulled up beside me, blaring his horn. "Keep moving, buddy. No stopping in the lane," he yelled, motioning for me to go. My hands were shaking so bad I almost dropped the wheel. I was trapped. Trapped with a stranger who thought I was her Uber, who thought she was my girlfriend, and a cop breathing down my neck. "Listen, lady," I tried, my voice tight with fear and a growing anger at the absurdity of it all. "This is a huge misunderstanding. I am not your Uber. You are in the wrong car. My girlfriend Molly is still at the terminal." She started to cry, a high-pitched, almost theatrical sob. "No, you picked me up. You have to take me to my hotel. I'm Molly. You said you were Kieran." She was getting hysterical. "Help! Help me! He's kidnapping me!" "I am not kidnapping you," I roared, my own composure snapping. "I'm taking you back to the airport. You got into the wrong car, you lunatic." My hands gripped the wheel, knuckles white. The accusations, the police car still trailing me. This was spiraling out of control faster than I could think. She let out a piercing scream that echoed in the confined space of the car. "He's trying to take me back. He's a psycho. Help me." I floored it, not away from the airport, but back towards the terminal, tires squealing. I just needed to get her out of my car, back to where people could sort this mess out. I pulled into the closest curb I could find, practically slamming on the brakes. The second the car stopped, she fumbled with the door handle and burst out, still screaming at the top of her lungs, pointing at me. He tried to kidnap me. He's a fake Uber. And then, it truly became a scene. Police cruisers, airport security, and yes, another traffic vest guy descended on my car like a swarm of angry bees. Doors ripped open, shouts of hands where I can see them. My heart felt like it was going to explode through my chest. I was hauled out, pushed against the hood, frisked. My entire world was collapsing. Kieran, what the hell is going on? Through the chaos, a familiar voice cut through. My head snapped up. Molly, my actual Molly. She was jogging towards us, eyes wide with horror, her carry-on still clutched in her hand. She'd clearly just arrived to this absolute circus. Molly, thank God, I gasped, trying to push past the officer. She's the one. That's Molly, not her. I pointed frantically at the screaming woman. My amazing girlfriend, bless her, took charge. She quickly explained everything, showing her ID, pointing out our matching texts from just minutes before. The screaming Molly's parents, who had been called by the airport police after her Uber never showed, arrived moments later looking utterly mortified. They apologized profusely, explaining their daughter, also named Molly, was incredibly anxious about traveling alone in a big city and had probably just panicked and jumped into the first black sedan she saw. She was apparently looking for a black sedan for her Uber. Mine happened to be a black sedan. It took what felt like an eternity to sort out, for the officers to fully grasp the colossal, terrifying misunderstanding. My girlfriend's cool head saved my ass. We ended up having to give statements, but eventually I was cleared, albeit with a fresh layer of airport-induced trauma. That night, after a much-needed, much-delayed dinner, Molly and I just sat there, shaking our heads, then busting out laughing at the sheer insane absurdity of it all. You know, she said, still giggling, for a second there, when I saw you being cuffed, I thought you'd finally been caught for all those bad driving habits. I just rolled my eyes. Honestly, Reddit, that was one of the scariest damn things I've ever experienced. I thought I was going to jail for kidnapping, but hey, at least I've got a hell of a story for you guys now. And more importantly, I'm never picking up Molly at the curb again. From now on, it's short-term parking, full stop, and a double check of her face before she even touches the door handle. You hear me? Learn from my mistakes. Always confirm your passenger.
Okay, real talk, if you're still here after 2 of these chaotic Reddit tales, you're probably one of us. Go ahead, hit subscribe. It's free chaos every episode. Now, let's dive into story number 3.
The first thing I heard was the shriek. Not a playful shriek, more like a banshee trying to peel the paint off the organic produce aisle. My peaceful grocery run was officially over. I just wanted to grab some milk and get home, but the sheer volume of this woman's indignation was impossible to ignore. My green polo, a relic from an old job, suddenly felt like a giant neon target on my back. Why? Oh, why did I wear green today? She was already bright red, face to face with poor Maria from customer service, who looked like she was about to cry over a price match on artisanal oat milk. This woman, who truly could have been Kate Gosselin's angrier, more stressed twin, was absolutely losing it. Her voice cracked with manufactured outrage, demanding to speak to a manager about, well, everything, it seemed. Then I spotted Abuela. She was a sweet little lady I knew from my brother's stories, a regular at this southern grocery store chain. She'd send homemade goodies to the employees for holidays, always with a mischievous glint in her eye. Usually she was bustling around, maybe haggling playfully over the price of plantains with the produce manager. Today, though, she was frozen, clutching her grandson's arm, her usual smile replaced with a tight, pained frown as she watched the spectacle. Her grandson looked mortified, clearly used to his abuela's antics, but not this kind of public drama. I tried to skirt around them, pretending to be deeply engrossed in a display of artisanal cheeses, but it was no use. Her eyes, narrowed and furious, zeroed in on my shirt. "Excuse me, sir," she shrieked, pivoting away from Maria so fast her hair almost spun off. "You in the green! This employee here is useless, absolutely useless. Get me a manager, now!" She pointed a trembling finger, not at Maria but at me. I blinked, genuinely surprised. Ma'am, I started, trying to sound calm. I actually don't work here. I'm just trying to shop. Her face went from crimson to a dangerous shade of puce. Don't you lie to me? She practically screamed, stomping her foot like a petulant toddler. I know a uniform when I see one. You're all the same, lazy and incompetent. This entire store is a disgrace, and you, she snarled, sweeping her hand dismissively towards Abuelita and her grandson, who were now trying to shrink into the cereal aisle. You people are just as bad, getting in the way. That last jab, it wasn't me, but Abuelita, who suddenly looked less like a sweet old lady and more like a tiny, furious warrior. Her grandson tried to gently pull her away, whispering in rapid Spanish, but she shook him off. Before anyone could react, before Maria could even register a thought, or I could utter another useless "I don't work here," there was a distinct, satisfying whap that echoed through the quiet aisle. The Kate Gosselin lookalike stumbled back, clutching the side of her head, a shocked gasp escaping her lips. A lone floral-patterned flip-flop, size 5 maybe, lay innocently at my feet. I looked up, and there was Abuelita, standing ramrod straight, her other flip-flop still clutched in her hand like a weapon. Her chest was heaving. "Ya basta, mujer! Ya basta, mala! No respeto!" she cried, her voice trembling with a mixture of anger and hurt, tears streaming down her face now. "Enough, woman, enough! Bad! No respect! She's been yelling at everyone for hours!" "This is too much." Her grandson was by her side instantly, trying to console her, murmuring, "Abuela, por favor, it's okay, Abuela." The entitled woman, momentarily stunned by the sheer audacity of being struck by an elderly woman's footwear, quickly regained her composure, her face twisting into a mask of pure rage. You old hag. You assaulted me. I'm calling the police. I'll sue this store." But the fire had gone out of her. Her words lacked the conviction they'd had minutes before. Abuelita was openly sobbing now, leaning into her grandson, her small frame shaking. My chest ached seeing her so distressed. That had been the final straw. This woman had pushed a genuinely kind soul to her breaking point. I bent down, picked up the rogue flip-flop, and walked directly towards the now wailing Kate Gosselin wannabe. "Hey, miss," I said, my voice low and firm, handing her the shoe with a pointed glare. "I think it's time for you to leave now, before the actual police get here and hear everyone's side of this." Her eyes, still angry, darted around. Shoppers had stopped, phones were out, and the manager, Mike, was practically sprinting down the aisle, having heard the distinct whap and Abuelita's emotional outburst. The public humiliation, more than anything I or Mike could say, seemed to finally penetrate her thick skull. She mumbled something incoherent about disrespect and entitlement, but her bluster was gone. She turned on her heel and practically fled the store, leaving a quiet, stunned silence in her wake. Mike reached us, surveying the scene. "Bruno, I heard everything. Abuelita, dear, are you all right?" He helped her to a bench, her grandson still comforting her. "And Bruno, thank you. You didn't have to get involved, but I appreciate it." He gave me a knowing look. Some people just need to learn a lesson. I nodded, returning Abuelita's flip-flop to her. She grasped my hand, her eyes still watery but a small, grateful smile forming. "Gracias, mijo," she whispered. Sometimes, you just gotta stand up for what's right, even if it means getting a little chaotic. Or, in Abuelita's case, giving someone the literal shoe-in for a life lesson. It just goes to show you, don't mess with the sweet old ladies, especially when they've got a good throwing arm.
You know, the woman declared, eyeing my crop top and short shorts with an almost predatory glint. "You could really rule the world if you were a lesbian." I swear my brain just buffered. I'd only been trying to help her find fabric softener, for crying out loud. It was a sweltering Tuesday, and I'd just finished my shift at the local thrift store. My friend, bless her sweet tooth, had texted me for a candy run. Figured, why not? I had some time to kill, so I quickly swapped my work uniform for something cooler, a comfortable, kinda short skirt and a tank top. It was like 90 degrees out there, people. So there I was, in the fluorescent wonderland of the grocery store, navigating the candy aisle with a singular mission: Sour Patch Kids. That's when I saw her. A woman, probably in her late 50s or early 60s, looking utterly bewildered, just staring blankly at a shelf full of pasta. She looked genuinely lost, and honestly, my helpful instinct just kicked in. "Everything all right, ma'am?" I asked, flashing my best customer service smile, even though I was definitely not on the clock. "Can I help you find something?" She spun around, a flicker of relief crossing her face. "Oh, thank goodness. Yes, dear. Do you know where the fabric softener is? I've been wandering for ages." "I don't actually work here," I clarified, "but I'm pretty good with grocery store layouts. I can absolutely point you in the right direction." As we started walking towards the laundry aisle, she got a little too chummy, a little too close. "Well, you're just a doll, aren't you?" she purred, her eyes doing a slow sweep from my hair to my legs. "Such a pretty girl. Are you, a lesbian, dear?" Whoa, okay, that escalated quickly. My helpful smile faltered. "Oh, no, ma'am," I said, trying to sound polite but firm. "I'm not." She actually paused. For a second, I thought she might apologize, or at least change the subject. But no. Her eyes widened, a strange, almost conspiratorial look replacing the earlier confusion. Oh, a shame, because like I said, you could really rule the world. "You've got that look about you. That strong, independent vibe." I was genuinely baffled. Rule the world? Because I might be a lesbian? What even was this conversation? I felt a knot forming in my stomach, a mix of awkwardness and plain weirded outness. Trying to diffuse the situation, I instinctively touched the small cross pendant I always wear. "Well," I said, forcing a little laugh, "I actually go to Mass every Sunday. Pretty dedicated to my faith, you know." Her gaze dropped to my cross, then back up to my face, and her mouth twisted into a sort of pitying smirk. "Oh, you must need God, dear." That was it. My helpfulness evaporated. The doll comment, the invasive questions, the bizarre rule the world nonsense, and now that my politeness was clinging on by a thread, I stopped walking. "All right," I said, my voice suddenly much colder. "Well, I hope you find what you're looking for." I gave her a curt nod, spun on my heel, and practically power walked away, leaving her standing there, still staring after me, halfway down the fabric softener aisle. I couldn't shake that interaction all the way home. It just festered, that weird mix of entitlement and outright judgmental weirdness. By the time I finally flopped onto my couch with my Sour Patch Kids, I knew I had to share this gem, and honestly, posting it here, seeing all your comments, it's just so validating. Some people, right? You just can't make this stuff up.
This next one, yeah, it's a good one too.